Hello and welcome back to the Cine Club podcast. I'm Matthew.
I'm Billy.
I'm Jake.
I'm Dion. As part of our Halloween lineup, we've each picked a horror or horror-adjacent sequel that we think either gets unfairly criticised or hasn't received the praise it deserves to talk about. So, to begin with, mine is, shocking enough, the comedy horror film Gremlins 2.
Hell yeah.
It's
No
not
way.
Shockingly if you know him.
Yeah.
Shocking us. That's all I hear
I
about.
still think it's the greatest sequel ever made. You can't
Are you serious?
That's not.
Are you serious?
It's so good.
Oh
though.
my god, I believe you.
I was gonna say I like Gremlins too, but
You gave it like such a low score.
I want
yeah,
to fling it out the window.
It's not a low score. That was 4
4
stars.
4 stars for Billy's pretty generous,
yeah.
like, especially when it's a film with fun and humor and stuff. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, go on then.
Right,
Defend yourself.
All right, I think it's probably one of my favorites because of how satirical it is. I believe the film was very much a pitch to make a Looney Tunes film.
Okay.
That would make sense if with
Yeah.
the opening and closing credits.
Yeah.
With the idea that the whole film was like about Daffy, and with the opening being Daffy and the ending being Daffy. But like the whole point, the reason why I think this film worked for me is that it's just batshit insane.
It is.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's the one with Hulk Hogan in it.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan in some of them, then
the
some of it's
VHS
John
is
Wayne.
yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
on the
have it
VHS
archive
copy.
footage of John Wayne.
Yeah,
Why
What?
did they change it?
Because they thought it was funny.
because it's like the Hulk Hogan cameo. It's like
bigger racist.
it's no, it's like halfway
how
through
they
the film it
went
cuts
down.
out and it looks like
Picked
the film stock itself's burning, and then it
Yeah.
cuts inside of a cinema and Hulk Hogan's in the cinema. But on like the home release video, it was as if the VHS was packing in,
That makes
and
sense.
then it like cuts to a John Wayne film, but the Gremlins have been put into the John Wayne
Oh,
film.
I did know about that.
I also
actually.
think
I
that the film just
completely
worked
forgot
because
about
You're
that.
oppressed
genuinely
it.
it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a proper sequel to Gremlins in every way.
It doesn't really. I
No.
feel like
It
you
opens
could
up
watch
with
it
them
on its own.
bulldozing the China shop from the first
That's
one.
true. Yeah, they do. They basically like set up like
And
the
kills the old man.
Gizmo's equilibrium of like living in peace is disturbed
How
within
did
about
Gizmo
10
end
seconds.
up back there? I don't remember the ending of the first
The
Gremlins.
guy,
The-
do
they take him away?
The old
Yeah,
man
the
takes him
bloke
back.
comes
Yeah.
and takes him home.
I was
and
thinking like, how did he end up there? I thought he had a friend.
yeah, he
No,
basically
that's
he
all.
basically comes to the house and says, "I'm not refunding you. You're not ready. Get
Bugger
fucked."
off.
And then walks away, takes him home, and then he just. I mean, the
then he drops
coincidence.
dead.
Yeah, and then
He drops dead because he finds out that we want to sell your shop, and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
And
the
then
coincidence
the bulldozer
that, like,
kills
that
him.
he ends up finding Billy again is like is just so unbelievable that it's like
He's now like a businessman, isn't he?
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
quite like that element because they get obviously in the first one he was like interested in illustration and they carry that on sort of, but they make him like a really talented illustrator for this like big
Yeah.
business and everything. But then you get like. It's just quite funny having like all of the characters from the first one where they've got that like little
They feel much more like characters of the
Yeah.
original. I love that
They're
because
like, you know-
the girl character, forgot her name, the one who's like, I'm so
It's a
sorry.
good impression.
Yeah,
Good
no, it's
impression for the
like
film.
Isn't she called Kate?
Kate. Yeah,
I think, yeah.
She's in the first
Funny
one
Hat
too.
Woman. There you go.
But yeah.
The one
pretty
who's
much.
like has like a horror of like, was it like Christmas or something, like something like she.
Oh
has, like,
well, yeah. The first one has the whole thing where it's like, but they parody that because
yeah,
the
they
first
tell her
one,
to shut up.
they're basically the first one they have that bit which like I mean, you know, everybody sort of remembers it who's seen the film. It's where she's like saying, "Oh, I hate Christmas. This is just another reason I hate Christmas because I remember when my dad fucking died in Christmas." And they have like that harrowing monologue, and even Gizmo's like, "Jesus, bitch, what the fuck?" Like, you completely ruined the vibe.
And then the
like,
second one, they
those are his
redo it.
exact words.
those were his exact words, but like, you know, he speaks with his face and he's just looking.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "What
Like
the
with
hell?"
the second one, they just satire it. It's really
yeah,
funny.
because she starts doing that and
Yeah.
she's like about to do that
Yeah.
monologue again. Somebody like
And
says,
they're
"No,
like,
there's
"Shut
no
up,
time.
shut
Shut
up."
up."
Well, the funny part about that is that like Billy's actor's cracking up in the back, and he's trying his best to maintain composure. And he like by the end when he starts dragging off, he is laughing. He can't hold it in.
Yeah.
And they just keep that taken.
I don't know if anyone like gets to like joke, but I really love the joke in the movie where it's like they're going through the business and you get the weird like background noise of the lady on like the what's it called?
What?
Give me a clue.
The one where it's like, oh, like the radio thing, like office jobs,
Intercom.
intercom. There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, the intercom's like
It's probably the funniest part of the whole
yeah.
film.
and
And no one like
I think
mentions
most
it.
people do get it 'cause it's like one of the sort of gags that
Yeah.
carries on through the whole thing. Like that's what I quoted on my review where it was that Now on the channel tonight,
Oh yeah.
Casablanca, fully colorized with a happier ending.
Yeah, it's like UHF, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got quite a lot of elements.
That
of
is
that.
that is exactly what it's like.
It's a lot like UHF, and obviously the fact that you've got like the made-up channel with like Grandpa Fred's House of Horrors, and he's like showing Attack of the Octopus people, like all of that's like a sort of Elvira parody,
Yeah.
which I really like.
but
and
with
it's
Grandpa
like,
Munster.
but with Grandpa Munster, basically.
There were real films that they were showing.
Yeah, it was a real. It was a real film, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't called Attack of the Octopus
Yeah, it wasn't called
people,
that.
which is a
It's
shame.
like the
but-
show a clip from, I think it's Beast from 20,000 Fathoms
Yes,
later in
they
the film
do.
as
Yeah,
well.
they do, because then the Gremlins start freaking out because they're like, because the beast dies or whatever, and they're all like, oh no. But like, I mean, this is going to sound really stupid, but another thing I really like about this film is they almost apply, they apply that logic of like, when you have a marketable design, they start inventing all of these new variants.
That was the whole thing that I really like about that. I just felt like Joe Dante just like bloody venting.
Yeah, well, because
About, like how corporate the Gremlins one became.
yeah.
He just kind of went, "Oh fuck it, we're gonna make Gremlins."
But
2
like- but-
one of the least corporate films.
Yeah, but like not even that. I mean, just this was for me in my life. I always really wanted to watch both Gremlins films, but this was the only one I was allowed to
I
watch.
like it more than the first one.
Because I was
I
just
agree.
my parents just wouldn't let me watch the first one because it was like more. I guess they remember it being more of a horror film, which it is. This one was always this was
This is the silly one.
this is the silly one. This was one of my favorite films of all time. When I was a kid, I watched it so many times, and like, yeah, like I mean, like I say, they have like the Phantom of the Opera gremlin and the
Which is a reference to Batman also.
yeah, the brainy gremlin, the vegetable gremlin, the electric gremlin. Like
Well,
there's
it was
all
the
these-
gargoyle gremlin that was a reference to
right.
Batman because he goes out the wall and he makes the
Oh,
bat
yeah.
symbol. But then that's also a reference to Lon Chaney's A Hunchback because he flies to the top and like the fella out of the
He
first
becomes
film's
a
talking
stop
about the
motion.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
This is one of the reasons I love Joe Dante so much, because I feel like a lot of his films have so much like parody and pastiche, but like it doesn't feel like
Like it's taking the mick.
it doesn't feel like it's taking the mick.
it's a
like,
love letter.
it's a love
Yeah.
letter, but it's also at the same time not being like, look at how much stuff WB owns, like because
Yeah.
this was very much in the era of WB really fucking selling things.
Like
'cause they-
one of them gets the logo tattooed on themselves in it. The
yeah,
WB logo.
yeah.
There's also one of my favorites is the fourth wall break where there's this guy reviewing the first Gremlins.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you get
brilliant.
And
Leonard
I
Maltin,
believe
like,
the whole thing was actually a real review.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was his
yeah,
real
Yeah.
review.
that was a
So
real
legitimately
review.
they had to get the guy who did it. So the Gremlins just kill him.
Gremlins
clever.
kill him. Yeah,
I quite
But
like when just
the
one
only
of the,
murder in the whole film, which isn't a gremlin.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of the random little references when Christopher Lee just randomly walks out with
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the seed pods out of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
yeah.
When he's in his lab, it's just like the most random, like out of place thing ever.
there's just so much tribute paid
The
to,
reason
like,
why I love it is it doesn't feel like, oh, look at this, look at this. Look at this.
It's one of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
films
It's
that
very well done.
you've got to go on IMDb after it's finished to go on like the references
yeah,
bit of
and figure
IMDb
out
and like,
everything.
oh, so that's in it. But
But
it's
it's
like
one-
an endless list.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that's made by somebody who's really interested in that, and only the people like us who are complete nerds who are interested in that will pick up on all the little references. But like,
yeah.
otherwise, it is still just an entertaining,
It's
silly,
fun, yeah.
silly sort of comedy horror. It's not, I mean, not really a horror, I guess.
It takes the idea of a horror,
Yeah,
but
the
then
horror-
it becomes a horror comedy. Like I will say, there's some bits which do scare me a bit.
Yeah,
The whole bit where
effects do
Gizmo's
get
getting
freaky.
tortured is depressing.
Like,
Yeah.
the close-ups of like the evil gremlins' backs when
Yeah.
like the new ones are coming out. It's like the close-up of them in like the little egg sacs on the backs, and that was horrible.
yeah, yeah.
And
There's
the
a lot.
spider thing's pretty freaky as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's also like literally one of the best parts, the Rambo Gizmo part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they give Gizmo like a character arc in this film where they have the whole thing where he's like, you know, he's just getting bullied and he's completely useless and basically on his own when Billy isn't there to help him like he was in the first film. So then what does he do? He does a Rocky training montage, puts a little red bandana on, makes a like a Mogwai sized bow and arrow, and then basically kills the big spider gremlin. And it's like, I love it. It's just so silly. I mean, it's very much that kind of like, oh, look at the cute little thing doing the cute little thing. But like, you know, this was before Disney was doing that like every year. So it's like, I think everybody was just aware of how adorable Gizmo was, and then how much of a like whiplash you get in the rest of the film, especially in the first film. So I think this one it has a nice. I think it has a slightly more even tone.
That's why I just really love it. It's just so insane, and it's something I really love about insane films where it just doesn't give two shits about what it does.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel held back.
Yeah, it's just funny.
But it wasn't
it's
really, because they went out and like they originally asked him. He was like, "No, I don't want to do that." Then they shopped at loads of other directors. Everyone said no. They went back to him and was like, "Right,
Basically.
fine, but you need to give me all creative control, otherwise I'm not doing it."
And I think there was the whole thing that he wanted to do a Looney Tunes film. That's why he did that. It was like pretty much a
And he
pitch.
did eventually.
Yeah, which
But,
I believe was development hell, but moving on from that.
granted.
Which
But
one's that? Is that Back in Action?
Back in
Action,
action.
yeah.
But even
Back
that
in
is
Action's
full of
pretty
like
cool.
all of the references and stuff. That
And the
has
Daleks are in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got
that's-
sued for that.
They've got like there's so
Yeah.
many like the whole thing with like you say with Christopher Lee and the seed pods. That's basically just a thing that carries on in a lot of Joe Dante films. I mean, we'll probably go more in depth in it at some point, but Gremlins 2, good pick. I love it. It's one of my favorites when I was a kid.
I was dreading
and
watching it, but it is pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
really, it's just fun. It's a right laugh, and I also actually it's worth mentioning as well. I forget the name of the actor. He's in a load of stuff, but the guy who plays Daniel Clamp, like the sort of the
John Glover.
John Glover,
Yeah.
he is really funny in this.
Lionel
film, like-
Luthor on Smallville, the professor who turns
Craig.
Poison Ivy into Poison Ivy.
Yeah, he is in.
He's in everything.
He's in
He's the
Scrooged
voice
as
of
well.
Riddler on the animated series as well.
And that, yeah, but he's really funny in this. I think
DC Maxon.
he's just great. I was gonna say, was he in some DC stuff? He might. I don't know, but I think I do. I think a lot of the acting
The
in
guy
this is
who,
great.
the guy from UHF. You mentioned UHF before. It's just come back to us. The guy from UHF's in it. Do you know the "You're stupid"?
yeah.
He's in it. He's the cameraman.
He is.
He
Yeah,
is,
that's
yeah.
right. 'Cause, yeah, he's in 16 Candles
Well,
as well.
as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Also, the
I need
twins.
to watch that film.
You're stupid. You're stupid.
The twins from Terminator 2 are in it as well. Like those two twins who like watch him dance in the lab. Those are in Terminator. I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's just
There's
Uh,
loads
so
of stuff
much
in it that
going
I
on.
thought like Mandela affected, thinking it was like that's what happened in the first film, but it's
No,
actually
yeah.
from the second one.
Yeah. The second one's
All the
just
iconic
great.
stuff that I've like remembered, it's just the second one.
It's just it is. It's just and I quite like the fact it's all set in one place as well. Like if the first one was all in like the little small
Like
town,
that.
taking it like to the city and putting it in a load of gremlins trapped in a skyscraper, like the potential.
You
for
have that There was one moment which I think said this is one of my
Gremlins die
favorite.
hard.
Like this is one of my favorite sequels of all time. It's the musical, but like
Yeah,
the whole
I
musical.
mean, they do New York. I mean, they have obviously they have the shopping center has a lab for some reason. They have like the TV studios. It's like all of the different Gremlins and TV shows, and it's just it runs with such escalates from the first film, but then has a lot more fun with it. And I think it's just I think it's a great film. So yeah, good pick. I would count that as a
Good
Halloween
movie.
film.
I decided to go with Halloween 2 because I genuinely think, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion or not, I think it's quite underrated.
Yeah,
I don't think it's as bad as people
I was
make it
really.
out to be.
I thought you were gonna say like, "Oh, it's better than the original."
No, I'm not.
No,
That's
no.
delusional. That's something Dion would
We're
come up
gonna
with.
kill you with rocks there.
What? What do you
Yeah.
say?
I just nothing to worry about.
No, I was gonna say.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
But yeah, Halloween 2. I think it's quite because I remember watching it because I'd seen the first one, then I went back a year later, and I wanted to watch all of them,
yeah.
but I got through the first one, the second one, both of the Rob Zombie ones, which are
why?
horrific.
Why you skipped ahead to those is I do
know.
not know because
And
they're
then
so
the reboot, which I don't mind.
that was pretty good.
Don't
I
mind
quite
the
I quite
reboot.
like the reboot.
I like
yeah.
the first one, but everything else after that.
Yeah, but Halloween 2, I think it's a laugh because you get more Dr. Loomis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
And it's the best thing ever. He
the
blows
reason,
up.
the reason I like Halloween 2, because as we were just saying on a different episode, Halloween is not a film that I think really would have benefited from a direct sequel, but the
Yeah.
way they handled it in this is the best possible way
It's a
they
lot
could.
better
because-
than what the other films do.
yeah, it's a lot better.
It is better than the other.
Just the
sequels.
idea that it's like, oh, actually, it literally picks up like just after the first one ends and continues through the same night.
Yeah, and it doesn't like try and expand on the lore.
No,
like
it
the
just
other ones do.
basically
it's
is
not
just
like,
like
they're related. He's like
it
something
continues
with
the
other.
killing
See,
and
I
like
don't like Laurie being related to Michael.
I don't.
Which one was that?
No.
I don't like that.
Nobody does. I
Well,
don't think.
that's like all of them except the new ones.
Oh, right.
That's true. They reset that in. Didn't they reset that in H20 as well? Or?
No, if it's like
Are
one
they
of the,
still
that's one of the main
sisters?
plot points.
Brothers and sisters.
Well,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
because it's like 20 years later. It's like, oh, your uncle, your uncle or whatever. He's not. No, sorry, your brother. He's not real. And I'm thinking uncle because Josh Hartnett's in it as Laurie's son.
Oh, is
What?
he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Is he the one who gets
He's in
Josh
like
Hartnett's.
he's in like the new M Night Shyamalan trap film and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, right.
He's got a really terrible haircut in it.
Is
but
that the one where
It's not even
I don't get
no, it's no like really famously bad. He did it himself because he didn't want to look like a handsome final boy or
You know
whatever you
what-
want to call him.
you
Like
know
he
what's-
cut it himself, and then whenever he wasn't shooting, he had a beanie on to make it.
I know
all
I'm
messy.
getting off topic, but is that the one which has that cliffhanger where
I
it
wouldn't go.
never got resolved?
No, is this H20?
The one with where the kid gets possessed.
No.
Never resolved.
That's Halloween 6. I
Yeah,
think,
the,
isn't it?
the chop, the H20 is it was meant to be the last one. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis wanted it to be the last one, so she cuts Michael's head off with an axe at the end of it. But then they pull the rug out in the next one, and it's Michael swapped his costume with a paramedic. So Laurie actually beheaded a paramedic. So then she gets locked up in a mental
What?
can't speak a mental institution, and then she and then Michael like breaks in and then chucks her off a roof, and then she's dead.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a feel-good film.
Anyway,
Shame.
Halloween 2 does none of that.
Yeah.
Halloween 2, I like the opening. You know,
Yeah.
the opening when he runs last, he's like, he's alive! He's alive! And the neighbour comes out, who's going, what the hell are you talking about? He's going, get inside!
Lewis
So
is just nuts in it.
He's
And
wi-
like,
someone, was it you, Billy, who said he's as bad as Michael
He
Myers?
is as bad as Michael.
yes.
He rocks up to someone's house with a 6-shooter in the first one, blows someone away, and the police don't like find arrest him or anything. They're like,
he's just a doctor as well. Like,
It's
why
because
is he,
he's wearing a lab coat. It's fine. It's
he's
gun?
like
fine.
wearing a lab coat. He's like dressed as Columbo.
Oh yeah.
Aye. Roy Cropper.
Don't go there.
But I think Halloween 2 is like, it's a weird one because it is quite, it feels quite grounded, and I remember it as being quite
Yeah.
grounded, but occasionally, like, there are just scenes that flash back into your head where you're like, I mean, the one that I always remember is when the police car rams into the person
Yeah.
who isn't Michael Myers,
And
and then the police car explodes.
So
Like,
funny.
why?
I swear they had like, because in the
So
Rob Zombie
stupid.
films, I don't know if you've seen them,
No.
but the first two are literally the same films. The second one has that exact bit where the
Really?
police car blows up, but for some reason, like Laurie, you know, she's like really injured in the second one.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
dies for a bit, goes to heaven, sees Michael Myers in heaven, and he's like, "You need to get up. You need to get up." And she wakes up, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Seriously.
See, if I hadn't,
I
if
was gonna pick that as one of the sequels that we could have
S-
talked about, but I didn't want to put you through this one.
well, see, if I hadn't just watched like vast majority of the films outside of the Rob Zombie ones and the new ones, I would be sat here like lampooning the second one because I wasn't really a big fan of it. But like
Yeah.
in retrospect, compared to
Yeah.
all the other
The
sequels,
second one
It's
does
really
have
quite
some
alright,
unintentionally
yeah.
funny moments, like the you don't know what killing is, and like he just runs away and stumbles.
Well, the thing is,
so good.
I mean, one of my issues with the second one is I feel like, unlike the first one, which had quite a grounded, likable set of protagonists,
Yeah.
this one, Laurie doesn't really do much in it, and obviously all of the other girls from the first one are all dead.
Honker
You are
you sound like you said Laurie.
Laurie doesn't really do much in this one.
And then what did you say?
I said, did you honk a hole?
That's what happened to the whole film. She went beep, beep. Everyone's like, "What the hell?"
This one, I think this one has a lot more, like the sort of slasher tropes of like, you know, the like really
I would say it's much focused on Loomis too, compared to the first
Yeah, well,
one.
when it's focused on Loomis, it's fair enough, but they focus quite a lot on like the super unprofessional
Ah, yeah.
nurses and doctors in the hospital
Yeah.
who are like just too busy trying to lay each other, and it's like, why is this like? I know that's like a thing that like
That's-
slashers have, and this was like kind of a trope. At
I think
that
it would be
point,
really
but-
cool, like a slasher film set in a hospital, and that's like when
Yeah.
you see like in the later films where like They're going to what looks like Arkham Asylum to get Michael out. It's like, this would be a really cool
Why
setting
can't
for
they
a
just
film.
drop them in there
I know.
and leave them
Yeah.
on Michael's turf?
Well,
like,
how-
that would
Yeah.
be really good.
It's like, you know, like the opening of the 2018 one or whatever it was.
yeah, yeah.
That's so
That
cool.
bit- Oh, when the dogs start barking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
set
That's
one in an
brilliant.
asylum. Like, just do it. It's really cool.
Well, the Rob
Yeah.
Zombie one's mostly set in the
Yeah, it
side.
is actually.
Yeah.
I'm not watching
But he's
that.
got like dead, and the way they cover his face and that's dead funny. Don't know how to do it.
Oh.
He has long hair and a
Yeah.
beard.
Oh, I wish. Just like Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Wow. Probably
This
was
is-
played
this
by
is-
Rob Zombie's wife as
Oh,
well.
the who? Please.
Anyway, but yeah, I do love the setting of the second one, and it's another one where it's like pretty much all set in that one building, and I like the
Yeah.
fact that it's quite claustrophobic, and you get, I mean, they make Michael a little bit more supernatural in this one, because obviously he gets his eyes shot out and then somehow
Yeah.
survives that. I mean, what a visual though, that bit where, like, where he starts
the
like,
bloody
crying blood,
yeah.
like, I wish they kept that. Like,
That's
I
what I
kinda
was-
wish they kept that mask.
That's exactly
because,
what
like,
I said after I'd watched the other ones. Like, when the mask gets progressively worse,
Yeah.
like, you had the perfect opportunity, like, just burnt mask, blood, tears down
Yeah,
it.
well,
That would be a
because
really
then-
cool look.
He looks more like a clown also, which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the start of the first one where he was wearing a clown mask to
Mm.
kill the sister. But like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, any...
I want to mention the best part. I think the best part in the Halloween films that I've seen is right at the end when Dr. Loomis is like, "Oh, Michael's gonna get me. What do I do?" And he blows himself up, and you see it then cuts to the whole room
Yeah.
covered in flames.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is it in the fourth one?
Fourth one,
Lu-
he comes
yeah,
back.
Loomis-
Completely fine.
He's just got a couple of scars
Is
on
that
his face.
is that a reason why they brought him back?
Yeah, because they couldn't get anyone else.
Is that
And he's just-
actually?
No, I don't know.
Well,
I'd
because
assume.
Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't come back until H20.
She
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
interested, so I think they wanted one like legacy character from
Yeah.
the originals to try and carry it on, and I'm glad they did because like Donald
Donald
Pleasance.
Pleasance.
is
Oh, he's
really
the funniest
good.
part.
He
The bit-
puts so
oh, yeah.
much in like
That reminds
all
me,
of
there's a
these
bit in
films.
I think it's Halloween Kills, where I think they recreate
Yeah.
like
yeah, the
I've
ending
seen-
of the first one.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they get like an actor who's playing Donald Pleasance, and it's
Yeah.
quite good.
It's so cool.
I do like that bit a lot.
I love that bit. I mean, Kills is like, I can't really remember much of it, but I do remember that.
Oh no,
bit.
I have seen Kills.
Is Kills the one where there's a copycat killer or something?
No,
No,
that's
that's
the third
End.
one.
End.
That's
I was gonna say-
Kills is the one where it ends with all celebrating, going, "Oh, Michael Myers is dead."
and
And for some reason, Laurie's daughter is in the house still, and she's
Yeah.
at the window waving to her mum, and he just gets her from mind.
and then it's
Why?
never mentioned again.
No,
The
it is
thing,
mentioned
like,
again.
Well, it's
So it
mentioned.
ends. She's like, "Oh, my daughter's dead."
yeah, but,
that's
but
right.
the
And then-
thing is,
From
there
what
was,
I've seen,
there
what
was
we're talking
originally
about.
going to be announced the ending in Kills where they were going to legitimately hint that Laurie was going to go after Michael again.
I like that.
How
I
many
love the
times
bit
is
in the
she gonna,
reboot?
like, yeah,
The trailer for the reboot. I remember watching it, where it's like Laurie's like got this bunker,
yeah.
and she's like, "Every night I hoped you would get out," and the sheriff goes, "Why would you do that?" And she goes, "So I could kill him." Like,
she's such a badass. Like in those films, I
that's
really
cool.
love.
That's the
what
only
they
thing
did with
about
it.
like having a consistent final girl like Laurie in a slasher series, because it just makes your killer look like a loser. Because he's
Yeah.
been trying to kill the same lass
That's
for 40
true,
years.
yeah.
But yeah, Halloween 2, I think the visual of him like burning to a crisp, I wish they left it with that. Because if that was the last time you saw
Yeah.
him, I mean, it looks so cool. when
I
it's
still think they
just-
should have left it
Well, it's because
at the first one.
or just leave
it's
it at
because
the
people
first one.
kicked off about the third one not having Michael in it.
Because it was
in it.
was it not originally meant to be?
Yeah, it was
an
anthology,
Yeah. See,
I
and
don't
that,
even think
that
he
would have been a
wanted
good
to do
idea, but when
two,
you've got a character that successful, you just can't really.
Yeah, you
That-
can't
like
really.
like Drake was saying, they weren't meant to make two, but he was
Yeah.
so popular that they did it, and then they're like, oh, okay, that's
Now
done.
What?
Go on to the anthology stuff like we were meant to, and three's great.
Well, I think
I would have
Three
Yeah.
is like,
I would have picked that for this episode if we weren't talking about Halloween 2, because I didn't want to like overload it.
I
on
don't know
Halloween.
if you heard me say this, Matthew, but I think 3 is better than 1. And I will say, because I really love how just goofy and stupid it is.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, I actually think 3 is
Halloween,
better.
yeah, Halloween 3. I think it's for. Yeah, it depends what you like. If you prefer that kind of like,
I don't know. I like Michael still, but I just think 3 had a lot more
yeah,
going
3's
for it
more
for
like
me.
a sort of analog horror thing.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
way ahead of its time.
sci-fi TV movie.
And I think that's why it's so popular now, because obviously the
Yeah.
idea of like this
Rise of Animal
company
Horror.
creating a load of killer masks, like, I mean, that's like, that could have, if it hadn't already been done in Halloween 3, that would have been some sort of Scott Cawthon video game that people would be obsessed with, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's why it's one of those things
Got
where
a
it's
catchy
like,
tune as well.
yeah, well, there you go.
Halloween.
I'm pretty sure that was sang by them as well, like John Carpenter and all of them actually
That's
sang
great.
that song, which is really cool. But yeah, anyway, Halloween 2. I
fine.
like it. I
It's
really
fine.
I'm on
fun.
Matthew's side. I think it's
Thanks.
really good. And I
It's
think
so bad it's good.
I think no,
I wouldn't even say it's so
I
bad.
don't
I
think
think
it's
it's
bad.
just
I don't
good.
think it's terrible.
I don't
I
think
think
it's
it's
a bad
fine.
film.
I think it's really funny bad for me.
Really?
It doesn't hit. It didn't hit.
I
the
also think the
marks of
two-
first
Oh, it's
one.
not as good as the first one.
no, yeah.
It's
the
a lot
two,
more
like-
entertaining in that aspect, though, where it's just funny.
But I don't think it is because I think it's funny, but like
I
not.
feel like the first one's also
It's
quite
not-
funny as
Yeah,
well.
But, like,
exactly.
if
Like
you-
when he's like
Like-
shouting, "Lanny, get your ass away from
Well,
me."
if you're
Like,
looking
that's
for
funny as well.
if you're looking for a funny slasher, Halloween 2 would not be where I would go.
No,
Yeah.
because it's kind of it's not quite as well crafted as the first one, but I still feel like it treats it very seriously, and it also
Yeah.
still has this really dark, gritty look and atmosphere
True.
about it.
I
Also
think
the
it's
fact that it's-
unintentionally funny.
Yeah, the fact that it's all set like where the first one you go from the day of Halloween into the night. This one's just the night, and at this point
Yeah.
you must be at like midnight, 1 a.m., the early hours of the morning. Like you can just imagine like I say, the fact it all carries on through one night. And I think the two of them go like when you watch them back to back, they make
I
such
wonder
a
how it
good
would
double
feel.
bill. Like I
might-
did that once.
I might do that
Well,
this
I've got
year.
a tape with both of them on it.
So do I actually. Yeah.
worth,
What, like on one tape?
Yeah, it's both of them back to back on one tape, which
So
is
wait, how does that
more-
work? Does it cut the credits? Or
I don't know. I haven't watched
The
it.
credits roll and then the second one just
Ah,
starts.
right. That's
So
cool, I like that.
it's really cool. It's like I think that's the best way to watch Halloween 2. I think
Yeah.
Halloween 2 on its own, it's okay,
That's
but
probably why I didn't like it as much when
Yeah.
I watched it, because I watched it in like an isolated.
didn't
sort
you
of-
watch it like in November as well, like after the
Yeah.
like the vibe had passed? I think if you're gonna watch Halloween 2, if I'm gonna recommend it to anyone, I don't think it's as good as the first one, so don't go in expecting it to be
Yeah.
as good. But if you just want a little bit more, like just if you want like a little bit more, scratch that itch that Halloween leaves at that point.
Yeah.
That one straight after, both of them back to back, it makes such a good, like I say, double bill. Because in the same way, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein
Yeah.
Frankenstein picks up right where the first one leaves off. This one does the same thing. They just go together really well, and like you can kind of almost forgive it for not being as good, because when you're watching them in one sitting, you're like, oh, well, I've just watched the first one, so I enjoyed that. This is it's just a bit more,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like Halloween the DLC, I guess you could say. It's an extension of the first one rather than like a proper sequel, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a great film. I like it a lot. Well, my pick for underrated. Well, I don't really know if it's underrated.
I think it's much more loved than the first one.
I think it's better than the first one.
You think it's
I-
much more loved?
I don't know if
than
it
the
would. I don't know
I
if it's
wouldn't
much
say
more
so.
loved. I think it's critically held at about the same level. But,
I would say it's much more loved for one reason.
What? Because Del Toro's
Toro,
directing.
yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert, we are talking about Blade 2, which is my pick. It's not, once again, I mean, it's not a full-on horror film, but it's got a lot of horror elements in it. I probably would watch a Blade film around Halloween time. I have in the past, and I think it fits the vibe, because, it's got vampires. Blade 2, I think, is just awesome. I just think it cranks up, like, Blade 1 is a great film, and it's a perfect introduction as, like, a sort of, like, early Marvel Comics adaptation, in the same way something like The Crow or, like, those kind of 90s comic book films. It's got that sort of dark, gritty vibe. Blade 2 kind of keeps that, but it just cranks it up a little bit more, and obviously the fact that it's Guillermo del Toro, it's like, I mean, it's not explicitly like one of his films, but you can sort of feel his influence in it. And it's
I
like,
think 2's such a cool one because like it has like such a big cast in it. Like
yes.
Norman Reedus like showed up in the very beginning and stuff.
Norman Reedus is actually pretty good in this. I like him. I like Scud, I think is his name, which is such,
It
a,
is.
such a stupid
I forgot his
name.
name.
For a
Is it
character.
Whistler? Is it Whistler?
Whistler
Who
is-
probably dies at the end of the
Yeah,
first one, then he comes back.
Yeah,
And then he comes
when they're
back,
talking
yeah.
about Whistler being kidnapped at the start of this, I was like, is this like another Gremlins 2 thing? I really remember him dying in the original.
I could have sworn he did,
Yeah.
Well,
but
because
for whatever
he
reason,
gets turned, and then like Blade gives him his gun. You hear the gunshot,
that's true.
and
yeah,
they show the
it's-
flashback in the film.
That's I was thinking because I've rewatched the first Blade more recently. I think because it was when they like showed it in cinemas last year. I saw that, and I was the same. I was like, he's in Blade 2 though. How does that work?
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
Blade 2
They
brings.
just couldn't get away from him.
Well, I'm glad they brought him back because he's
He's my favorite.
such a
of the
cool character
characters,
in these
yeah.
films. Like Chris Christopherson
I
plays
think
it really
Blade
well.
2, the
and-
reason why it worked for me much more than the first one is the special effects are bloody gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
I think. Well, that's what I said in my review. I think the practical effects when they use them are good, but like the CGI just is very
Yeah.
early 2000s rubbery.
Compared to the
Yeah.
first one, which looks very wonky at times.
the
first
first
one
one
has
looks pretty terrible.
much
The
more
yeah.
egregious.
The whole
CGI,
final
I
fight in the
think.
first one is
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's not. Nobody's ice skating uphill in the second one.
that's true. Some motherfuckers just don't know who they're dealing with in this one, though. I mean, but yeah, I like this one because I think it like it in a way a lot of these sequels do. Obviously, like with a sequel, you gotta like up the ante a bit and progress it, and I feel like this one does that pretty well. Where it's like, okay, like vampires are bad, but how about these like super extra evil vampires who have like the vampire disease and all that kind of thing, and then, I mean, the Blood Pack, I mean, that's just so cool. Like, even just the fact that it's called the Blood Pack, and you've got Ron Perlman, Donnie Yen, like, all of these cool, like, new characters. So it's like, right, okay, so we got the stakes. These guys are too strong for just Blade. Let's give Blade this awesome, like, sort of very comic booky, like, team of, like, extra vampire killers. And I think it is a bit more supernatural. It's like, the first one's a lot more grounded. I think that's where the Del Toro influence comes in a little bit more in this one.
That's why I think the second one works. It's just
because
such over the top.
It does. It leans
silly.
into how over the top it is.
It's very much like it reminds me of Hellboy 1 a bit. It's not as dark as the first one. It's not as dark as the first one. It has a lot more levity to it. But it still does have some graphic moments.
It's got great fight scenes as well. I mean, Wesley Snipes always looked really cool as Blade in these, but like I said, the fact that you've got Donnie Yen and all of these like there's like sort of like
Donnie Yen's so good.
Donnie Yen's just really cool and everything, but he's great in this, and like there's quite a lot of like martial arts bits and like set pieces as well. The fact that like that main first bit where the Blood Pack go hunting and they're like in it's like a sort of vampire nightclub or something like that, but it's not quite the vampire nightclub from the first one, because obviously that's like really iconic as well. But like I say, it ups the ante. It's got great set pieces. That whole bit in the sewer as well, where they're like fighting with all the like
the weird monster thing.
Yeah, they're fighting like these weird monsters thing, and Blade has like loads of gadgets. Like he has more gadgets in this. I know he had quite a few in the first one, but yeah, it's just.
I forgot. Yeah, it's a Nosferatu looking vampire.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
But like the mouth split open, look like the Predator and all that.
That's true. Yeah, and they have that. They have like their hearts are like covered by bone as well, so you can't like stake them through the heart, which is like, this is what I mean. It changes enough. It adds a load of new cool stuff, while still feeling very much like, oh, it's quite believable. It's a believable story in the Blade universe. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You watched it for the first time recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched it the other day. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Okay.
I didn't love the first Blade either, though. So
right, okay.
He's fun. He's a fun character. He's cool. I like Wesley Snipes in it. I don't know. Wasn't thrilled by it. I liked it, but yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I say, it very much depends on how much you like that sort of Blade character and how much they like try to make it badass. I think it's really badass, which is why I like it so much. But
I like the boomerang lock in sunglasses when he just gets chucked at them and they just lock into his hands like a homing missile.
That's pretty cool. And I mean, I think the villain's quite good in it as well. I can't really remember that. Much
I think he's better than he's better than the first one.
He's much better, and it makes no sense to me because he's played by Matt Goss out of 80s heartthrob pop band Bros. He's not an actor.
That's random.
Which is really random, but he's actually pretty good in this. Yeah. I don't think he was really in much else. But it's I think it improves where it needs to improve. It adds a bit more style and flair. Obviously it has like things like the Blood Pack, and I think it just continues. And also I quite like the twist as well, where it turns out that Scud's like kind of a bad guy, like evil Scud. And you can tell like Whistler was onto him from the start, but like, yeah, it's cool. I just think it's a cool film. I can't really say that much more about it, but I just think
I'd probably give it the edge over the first one, just by a little bit.
Just by a little bit. That's fair. Oh, good soundtrack as well.
Oh, yeah, good soundtrack.
Cool music. So yeah, that's probably everything I can say about Blade 2.
Another cool pick.
Thank you.
The last one for our little lineup today is mine, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Toby Hooper again, but like over 10 years after or something.
Was it actually 10 years later?
It was quite
12 years after.
12 years, there you go.
Yeah.
Quite a while after, like completely different setting and period. So like the original one, it's very 70s. This one is very 80s.
It's also a canon film. And I can't
Yeah,
I can't think of many other films that wear that canon association on their
Highlander.
sleeve quite as proudly as this one. Highlander does, but like this is so 80s where it's like
It's their only good film.
it's is it? I don't know. What else? I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm a Masters of the Universe defender. I think
okay.
I like that film.
Yeah, I
but anyway,
forgot.
point is it's so canon. Like it's such a canon film. It's so garish and
It
it's
is,
very
yeah.
very 80s.
Yeah.
Like
That's sort of what took us aback by it, but like I should have guessed from the poster, looking like the Breakfast Club.
it is, yeah, the
Poster.
Breakfast
So
Club.
but,
parody poster.
Yeah,
Is
it's
the poster, sorry, the one that you've put on the...
yeah,
It's so funny.
it is really funny.
It's like the ugliest boy band ever. Leatherface to behind him, like with his hand, like, yes.
Yeah,
I really need to watch
Get in
this.
there.
it's so good.
It's and like I just think it's loads of the stuff that it adds is like it's not trying to be the same as the first one because they know they can't match like
Yeah.
the horribleness like in the
Yeah.
tone of the original. So they know it's self-aware, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
And it targets a different sort of. I wrote it in my review where it's like it feels like it is targeting a different audience, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like
yeah.
it's hard to
So
describe
do you
it.
think it's maybe targeting an audience that's got used to horror films with humour?
Kind of.
It's more of a parody of itself.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
parody of itself.
and
Like,
the sort of
yeah.
Is the one where Leatherface finds love?
it is, yes.
pretty much, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
finds love in quotation marks.
in the sense that
Yeah.
he spares Caroline Williams because he just keeps
What?
humping his chainsaw. Like that's basically the
Yeah.
whole
Well,
thing.
yeah, my quote that I picked for this one was, "Let's just get it over."
Oh, sex
You-
of the saw,
yeah,
boy.
you got one choice, boy: sex or the saw. That's from the cook from the original, I think.
How much drugs were they having while writing this?
Probably too many.
This is where I'm gonna flip the script. I don't really like that about it. I can't lie. I think okay, there are elements of it that I really liked. I really liked, like I say, the lighting and the look of it and how garish it was. And the sets are superb.
They're
Like,
really
all of that is really
the
impressive.
underground sort of cannibal basement under the fairground.
Yeah,
so cool.
but I just feel like it wastes a really good setup because you basically get the whole thing with Stretch or whatever she's called. Stretch, the sort of final girl of the film. She's like a radio DJ and she's playing all of these proper tunes, bit of Oingo Boingo, I'm loving it. It's really good. And she's got this cool little, like the set where she's got the radio station. And then, she hears basically a Leatherface murder happening and catches it on tape. Meanwhile, you've got Dennis Hopper, who's like this kind of cranky old sheriff who's like,
a nutter.
he's a nutter
Yeah.
basically, but is it that he's like the uncle of the fella in the wheelchair
I
from
think
the
so,
first
yeah.
film? And he's basically trying to avenge all of his relatives who died
You
in the
said the
first
uncle
film.
you said the fellow in the wheelchair. Do you know who I thought you meant?
Who?
I thought you meant the granddad.
No, not that
I
one.
was like,
not-
God, I hold Dennis
Dennis
Hopper.
Hopper's even older, but yeah. But so they have all of that, and then they have the two of them almost about to work together. She's got the tape. He doesn't think he needs her help, and then they set it all up. And then Chop Top comes to the DJ bit and basically tries to kill her with Leatherface. And then Leatherface discovers he's in love with her and everything. And that's like, okay, cool. But then after that, she runs away. Dennis Hopper shows up really late to the party and gets separated from her. And she ends up in like this sort of like underground base.
Yeah.
But then from that point on, I feel like it's just a retread of the first one,
Yeah, I
but
get
without
what you
any
mean.
of the atmosphere
Yeah.
or cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love that setup because she's like she's quite a badass character, and I thought, she's gonna probably go after them, and her and Dennis Hopper are gonna team up and basically fuck them up. But like, she basically just falls into this hole and then spends the rest of the film screaming away, and like, and it's like, I don't know. I didn't
You
think it was.
they dropped the ball.
I think they dropped the ball with that a bit because I think the setup's great, and then Dennis Hopper is, he's really good in it. He's like, he doesn't really do anything the entire film. He basically
So
spends
is it mostly focused on the family then?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, this is another part of the setup I really like. You get the you kind of find out the motive for why the cook kills people.
Enough for the chili.
He's winning a
It's
chili
chili
competition,
funny.
so
Yeah.
that's how they introduce him. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. I thought that was great. But then, like I say, there's all of these new, like, unique spins on it, and I'm like, oh, this is quite fun. This is quite different. But then after it gets to the point where she's in that sort of home, in the same way, she ends up in that home in the first one. It's basically like that same plot, her screaming her head off, Leatherface sort of sparing her, and it just really drags. There's just so
What
many
is it,
moments
Is it
where,
much
like,
more just over the top and goofy?
It is
Pretty
over
much,
the top, but
yeah.
like I think I said myself when I watched it, I think it's about 15-20 minutes too long.
yeah,
How long
like,
is
It's
it's
about 100
only
minutes.
like an hour, only like an hour and a half.
But
something
if
like
if
that,
they'd cut
but-
it down a slight amount and had to work with a shorter time, I think it would have worked much more effectively.
And I
But
think if they just gave her more to do
Yeah.
when she's there, because there's so, like I say, a lot of it is quite funny when it's being funny, but I don't think it was funny enough. Like, and I know that's a weird thing to say for a film like this, but like the moments where it's funny, it's like, oh, that is quite funny. But then a lot of it is just her like, oh God, oh, it's me dead friend. Oh, it's Leatherface. Oh, it's them. And they're just running and screaming and getting chased. And there's moments, it's like watching an episode of Scooby-Doo where she's like running in one door, coming out another. Dennis Hopper's coming out another door, these chainsaw. And I love all of that. Dennis Hopper's just completely unhinged, but like you forget that he's even there until the cut back and he's like, bring it all down. He's like chainsawing like for no reason.
it's just so funny.
And it's
That's
so
why I love
funny.
it.
And I do
It's
really
ridiculous. Like
And-
Chop Top, he's such a great addition to it.
Yeah, I do think he's a great addition, but even he's quite annoying. And it's like, like I say, if he popped out every now and then, said a little one-liner, it'd be funny. But you get like, it goes in chunks, so you'll like get like
It feels
15 minutes of Chop Top riffing, then 15 minutes of her screaming and running, then another 15 minutes of Dennis Hopper chainsawing nothing, and like
Yeah.
it just feels like it goes on
Does
really
it?
long.
Does it feel like
and,
a monkey's paw thing? It's like, oh, like so good, and it just continues.
Kind of. I don't know. It's just like I really wanted to like it, and there was a lot of elements that I did like about it. And then to be fair, it sort of won us back by the end, because then once Dennis Hopper does get involved again, and you get Dennis Hopper having a chainsaw duel with Leatherface on the like bone dining table in this like underground theme park set with the granddad, who's still there, by the way. But even that, like the granddad, that is literally just the exact same scene
ripped
as the first
exactly
one.
from
She
there.
gets tied down.
Oh yeah, with the,
And it's like, and I thought,
Doesn't he
oh,
actually manage to hit like Brea in this?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a lot
he
more,
takes
like,
ages and-
sentient in this one, isn't he? Did he not start like licking his lips at one point? And he
yeah,
faces his
just
jewels?
barely. But that's the thing. It's like,
Stupid.
I thought they were going to do like, oh, she's chained down and then she's going to break loose and start fighting them, but they don't. They just do that same scene,
Yeah.
basically shot for shot, just with more screaming and more colourful neon lights and not like
Well,
that
kind of
cool.
what I liked about it, it feels like the Dream Warriors to the original Elm Street.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a lot more campy, it's a lot more out there, it's a lot more exaggerated, but like it still carries on the themes and reflects it.
Yeah.
Because like what I wrote about it was that like obviously in the way that the original, it's this farmhouse in the middle of rural Texas. It's like a perversion of like the American dream, the American pastoral, and all that.
Yeah.
12 years later or whatever you said, it's the 80s,
It's a
and
theme
the
park,
sort of
yeah.
the swap it out, like the sort of dried out colours and the all that for like neon clad,
yeah,
bright, it's horror,
Yeah.
and like it sort of addresses like it's a monument. They live in a monument to capitalism.
Yeah.
And it's like sort of addressing the Reaganism of at least that's what it felt like to
Well,
me.
and
it
I
was
agree
trying
with-
to be like politically.
Yeah.
I agree with that to an extent, because the fact they changed it from just, oh, we like cook and kill people to feed ourselves, to we cook and kill people so we can win chili competitions.
Yeah.
Like we want
After
money.
that, I
We
just
want
think
money.
that's
Like I
definitely-
think that's really that's a really funny skew, and I do agree with that. Like in that sense,
It does fit, by the sound of it, does fit the tone.
that fits the tone, and that tone is great. It's just I just wish there was a bit more of that, because
Yeah.
pretty much the entire middle portion of the film is just like a less gritty, less grimy, less tense version of the first film, and like one of the reasons I love the first film so much is just because of how uncomfortable,
That's
the
definitely-
droning noises.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the music in this one's pretty terrible as
Well, that's
well.
what
which
I
doesn't
like
really
about the
help.
first one is there's barely any music.
Yeah, it's like no real sound. It's just totally tense. And I know this it's trying to do something different, but I
Yeah.
just don't think it works anywhere near as well as the first one.
Have
And-
you s-
Yeah, totally. I think it doesn't like it's not a patch on the original, but
No,
I still
no,
think
yeah.
it's like a really effective sequel.
it's totally worth watching, because it's unlike anything else I've really
Yeah.
ever seen, to be fair, and I'll not forget
I
about
know.
it in
what,
a hurry.
what other
like.
film have you got? Someone like picking bits, heating up bits of the scalp with a lighter, and then picking
It's not
it
even
off
it's
with
a
like a coat hanger and then
coat
eating it.
hanger, yeah.
It feels like a 50-50 film, this, because it sounds very cool, but on the other hand, it just sounds like a mess.
Have you seen any of the reboots?
No.
I've
No,
seen the
that-
one which they brought back the original character.
Well, that's kind of what Leatherface. I think he's in all of them.
No,
Like the girl from the
Yeah.
first.
I get you.
And because
Yeah.
like there's one where it's like about the family,
Yeah.
and it's like Leatherface, how he became Leatherface.
Well, see,
Terrible.
yeah.
Don't
Well, that's
watch it. And then they tried to do the Halloween thing.
Yeah,
where they do a
they
direct
did.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to
Yeah.
watch the Netflix one.
Atrocious.
Well, that's why I think I sort of chose this over other things that I probably like more as underrated,
Yeah.
because it's like all the other Texas Chainsaw sequels. I haven't seen them, but
yeah.
they're just trying to ape on what the original was.
Whereas this
This
one's
one-
like
and this one,
totally
yeah,
its
this one's
own
pushing the
thing.
boat out in the same way that Halloween 3 did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to respect the tenacity to like do something
Yeah.
so different. But like I say, it's so different, but I just don't think it's different enough. Like I just think they should have not basically remade the first one in like bright colors, like towards the
I
middle.
get what
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's not that I dislike it. It's just that particular element, I think I found that a little bit boring. But everything that was new about it was that was it. It was more disappointing because everything new they brought to the table was so good that if they had have just had something different for them to do in the middle portion, then it would have been fine. Because it got me back by like the end when, you know, the cook, he's like riffing. He's like, "Oh, it's a small business owners who take it in the ass," and then he like blows himself up with a grenade accidentally. And Dennis Hopper, like I said, Dennis Hopper's running around dueling Leatherface. He loses his big chainsaw. And he's got two smaller like chainsaws that he's wielding like pistols, and it's like it's so funny.
Does
Like,
it become like a Star Wars battle or something?
that's what it's like. It's like the two of them are like having like a sword fight, but with chainsaws. And,
I
and
do
the-
need to check it out.
And like the granddad's like sat watching, like, "Oh Jesus, what the fuck?"
Granddad's my favourite character in the
The
first one.
granddad's so funny.
Because it's that bit when like just like because obviously it's like I'm assuming it's like a mask they've put on the actor, and it just looks terrifying in the wheelchair. He's got the hammer.
Oh, come on, Grandpa!
One more time.
But they just do that, like they just do that again, and like they expect
Yeah.
you to be shocked when you see him again. But it's like, oh, the grandpa, I forgot about him, and then and then he's continuing to fail.
He
Like,
doesn't look much older.
he doesn't really.
That's the
know.
issue. The issue with that is like everyone else looks really different.
Yeah,
But the granddad, like all they've done is you can see his eyes.
yeah.
I don't want to see his eyes.
It's also a weird
Should I
thing
see
that
that?
I don't like the fact that Leatherface does like a weird jiggly thing whenever he comes running at the. So he like every time he like comes to attack someone with a chainsaw, he jumps out and then he like jiggles about a bit, and then he starts running.
He does like a
and-
Mick Jagger.
almost,
He
yeah.
runs.
And like, I
Yeah,
mean,
cool.
and he just, it's like quite funny because he like, there's that. I like the bit where they first introduce him. That scene goes on too long, but then when Leatherface jumps out and starts chasing, now that bit's really good. And then he can't get through the metal door, so he just crashes through the other door, and like he just comes through the wall, and it's like, but then, and you know that's great, but then you get like another uncomfortably long scene of Leatherface like using his
I think
chainsaw.
Leatherface
Like,
might be
There's a lot
actually-
of phallic imagery.
there's a
in
lot
it.
of like really.
Talking about Leatherface, I don't know if people listening can hear this. It does sound like he's next
Yeah,
I
it
was
does
gonna
sound like
say-
Leatherface in
It's
the
like
next
the
room.
the 4D Texas Chainsaw
I know he
Massacre
is gonna come through the wall.
You're gonna hear
and
some
then-
guy next door going, "Come on, Grandpa!
Come on, Grandpa! That'd be so funny.
Average Sunderland resident.
This
there's
is like
defi-
the definitive.
There's
Sunderland
definitely a
documentary.
Yeah.
household in this city that has some sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Meanwhile, in
family.
Hendon,
but
family are making chili.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. I
It's a
just
laugh.
thought it was a little bit boring at times, and I wish it.
Nah, I get that. I
I think, yeah, I just think it wish
there was times where I was like on my phone because scenes were going on too long.
it just
and that.
it was almost like they ran out of ideas in the middle part. Like they had a great start, a great end, and then just were like, oh, how are we going to fill like that middle half hour?
Well, that's exactly why I thought that it should have been 15, 20
Just a
minutes
bit shorter, and it probably
Mm.
would have been better. Or if they just, like I say, explored that area a bit more and had a little bit more going on
Yeah.
than just Dennis Hopper in a different room screaming and chainsawing things without any sort of purpose.
Yeah, he's just on his own.
And yeah,
Isolated-
he's
isolated
completely
chamber
separate.
going
Like I say,
basket
if
case
there was
mode.
the two of them, like sort of banded together, like fighting them off, I think that would have been better. But they don't ever really see each other again after the initial introduction because they make like a point of setting them up to be like a reluctant team. And Dennis Hopper's like, oh, I work alone, you're no help to me. And then he like
She gets
all
trapped
that,
now.
and then she gets lost in this theme park, and he basically has to go save her. But he's so distracted by the fact he's like too busy chainsawing everything. He's like, it's a devil's playground. I'm gonna kill them all. And he's like, Jesus Christ. But
you've definitely made me want to
it's a fun
watch it
film.
just for like the Dennis Hopper scene.
It's worth watching, and it's unbelievable that they got Dennis Hopper in it at all. I really don't know how they convinced
Seems
him.
like such a big actor compared to the first one.
Yeah, because I was thinking, is this like one of his early roles? But no, it's not even close. Like this, he was in Blue Velvet the same year as this film, I think, if I remember rightly, which is unbelievable. So
I wonder if they'll do any more. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
hopefully that'll be it. But
if they do another, just make the tone this.
I think that is all the feeding after midnight that we can stomach for one episode. Do you have a favourite horror sequel? One that's underrated particularly? Let us know at cineclub.podcast at sparksunderland.com.
Or you can contact us at the.cineclub.podcast _spark on Instagram, at the.cineclub.podcast on TikTok, or just simply the Cine Club Podcast on Facebook. Another great way to keep up to date on all the latest Cine Club developments.
And as always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, as well as being edited by Emily Main. Special thanks goes out to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler, Richard Berry. A reminder that our 4 chainsaw killers this week has consisted of me, Matthew,
me, Billy,
me, Jake,
and me, Dion. This has been a Cine Club production for Spark. Thanks for listening.